everyone. As you all know, I've been wanting to flatten the mental health curve, so I talk to people that I really admire and respect, and John Westhaver is one of these people, and he is going to share a little bit. I thought we might start talking about forgiveness first. When you think of forgiveness, or when you speak on forgiveness, what is your main message, and how that relates to us healing or recovering from trauma?
As a burn survivor, there was a lot of anger there at the driver, because the driver was the person who I said caused the crash. And it was, it was easy to blame him. It was easy to be angry with him. It was easy to say, this is his fault, because he was driving.
Right.
And my dad was great, because he really helped me realize that even though he was the driver, he didn't mean for this crash to happen. Like, he lost his life. He was a teenage guy, and this happened. And when I was able to forgive Jimmy for the crash, and when I was able to really forgive him and let go of that anger, it helped in my mental health and my recovery so much, because there wasn't that blame in there anymore. It wasn't coloring how I saw the world.
And when we blame, when we're in a blaming mode, we're unable to find solutions or be innovative or any of that, really.
Yeah, and it's outside of your control.
That's it.
You don't get to be in control of your life. I wasn't forgiving myself.
Forgiving yourself.
So I wasn't forgiving myself for what I did that night. Being in the car, not speaking up, drinking that night, not wearing my seatbelt. Like, I actually didn't forgive myself. And like, how much I was judging myself and all that anger and frustration. When I saw that, I saw that, I could actually forgive myself, that teenage boy. When I could forgive myself, a lot of that anger, sadness, and grief, it just, it starts to dissipate. And it's not like a one-time deal. Like, you can say, "Oh, I forgive myself," and like, "Oh, it's all gone."
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way.
Yeah.
It's a consistent habit.
People are going to have made plans that they won't be able to do now because of COVID-19, and they're going to have to let go of people. So what would you say to these people who need to let go of things to be able to move forward?
What's initially there for yourself? Like, what's your internal conversation? Like, what's all the negative conversation that you're saying about what actually you have to, your actions? Like, if you have to have a conversation with somebody, what's all of that noise inside of your head? Like, it could be like, you're making yourself wrong. Like, you're making yourself out as the enemy. But also hold the space for, those that you do have to let go. Hold the space for them to be able to share whatever they want, they need to share. Allow them the space to be however they are, and not take it personally, because often we take it personally,
Right.
And we want to say that, well, this is because of me, but right. It's not. It's like, this is just what has to happen in this moment. Really hold the space, for yourself to just to deal with the human in front of you. Make a difference in that person's world. They leave walking away like, wow, this manager, this boss, they got me.
Yeah, and they cared. They cared enough to get me. I think that's the thing, right? Is we're going to have to make a lot of really difficult decisions based on our new realities. Like, every time we talk, I get so much out of you, mindset, and this whole bit on self-forgiveness. I know personally that's something I've had to do. And anybody who has gotten sick or gotten or been disabled in some way like I was and like you've been, we know that self-forgiveness and accepting our circumstances is the hardest thing. And once we can do that, we can actually move forward. And until we do that, we're stuck, right?
Yeah.
We're stuck in moving forward. So I love that you brought that up.
What do you want to say about self-forgiveness that you don't normally have the freedom to say?
I think that self-forgiveness, I don't think people know that they're angry with themselves. I think that when when we talk about blame and we talk about, we're quicker to blame, but when we're blaming someone else, it's because we're really trying to not look inside. And self-forgiveness means being really authentic with ourselves. And I think that's a challenge for a lot of people. I think it's just easier to say, no, it's not my fault. Like you said, it's not, and so yeah, being aware of my role and accepting my role and knowing that I'm not perfect and knowing that people make mistakes opens us up to a whole different world. John, thank you so much for coming on with me. I haven't seen you in a while, and this has really been a difficult time for everyone, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come and help us flatten the mental health curve. So go out there and become empowered in yourself by learning to self-forgive, forgive others, and just hold space, like John says. So thank you. See you all next week. Bye.